Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our regular community. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently trading at 46,921, up 5.07%. Ethereum currently trading at 3202, up 6.64%. ADA's doing really well. It's up 17.07%. Go ADA. My goal is to assist you to become more of a financial blessing and create real wealth for yourself and those you love. We can see a lot of greenery in the market today. Uni up 6.21%, Maker 5.22% up. I'd like to share a quote with you from Goldie Hawn. The only thing that will make you happy is being happy with who you are. Very important. As we grow older, everything is about authenticity, just being who you are. Some people actually grow grumpier as they grow older, but real wealth isn't about that. It's about inner peace and outer peace, fulfillment and meaning, being yourself, the good parts of yourself. You don't have to wait till you're old to do it. You can do it right now, whatever age you are. Being genuine and authentic is really difficult in this world. There's so much pressure to conform with what the media thinks that we all should be, what your peers think you should be. What's really important is who you actually are. Knowing others is wisdom. Knowing yourself is enlightenment. It's always important to bring out the best of you every day, even in small ways. It makes the world much, much better. The more people who do that, the better this world becomes, and we really need it. Please be aware of scammers. If anyone asks you for money claiming to be me or representing me, they are a scammer. The only donation page I have is this site. I'd just like to extend a very warm thank you to everyone who's donated to me on buymeacoffee.com/cryptotradingks. It's very much appreciated. Thank you so much. Rule 174, the T-Cube method, trend, timing, and trigger. We did the trend episode earlier on, and I'm really sorry, I was a little bit tired. I mis-edited that one. I left out some things. I'm going to pop that on the end of the timing video for you. Right now we're going to look at timing. The difference between timing and trend. Timing is the micro view of the market. Trend is the macro view, looking across years and years, trying to figure out what's going on across the stock markets, across economic data. Timing drills in and sees what the crypto market is doing right now. To do that, we use the KS method. The first thing we do is look at the news headlines for the past 24 hours for Bitcoin. Because we know Bitcoin drives the crypto market, we're looking at these headlines through the eyes of someone really new to the crypto market and thinking, do they see a positive or a negative news story here? Okay, let's get into it. Bitcoin mixing service. Ooh, what's a mixing service? This sounds like a bakery or something. Helix pleads guilty to laundering. Oh, maybe it's a dry cleaning shop. Laundering is not good. Guilty is not good. So that's definitely negative. How to buy crypto. Ooh, the easiest way to get Bitcoin. Well, that's very positive. I like easy things. BlackRock ETFs hold 384 million of shares in Bitcoin mining firms. Wow, that's interesting. That must be positive. Cryptocurrency prices today. Bitcoin rises sharply, ooh, to 47. That's fantastic. That's very positive. Ooh, look at this. Coinbase to invest 500 million in Bitcoin and other cryptos. Wow, that is cool. That must be good. Bank of Thailand to test retail digital currency. Ooh, that's a new one. I wonder what's that about. Oh, digital currency. That sounds like some kind of crypto. Now, of course, we're going under the assumption that we're someone new to crypto. I know many people in the channel aren't, but some people are. It's really good to look at the headlines from this perspective. Bitcoin mining revenue skyrockets to 33 million daily. Ooh, what's this? The Chinese flag. The China crackdown on Bitcoin miners is now proving to be a blessing in disguise. Ooh, that's nice. Always good to have a disguised blessing. Bitcoin prices sets eyes. Oh, Bitcoin has eyes. I didn't know that. Where are they? Are they in there somewhere? Sets eyes on 50K. Ooh, as BlackRock. What's BlackRock? Hang on. They talked about that up here. They hold 384 million of shares in Bitcoin mining firms. Oh, the news is starting to make sense. Bitcoin jumps 6%, edging above 47K. Well, that's very positive. Ooh, another black rock. What is this rock that is black? It sounds very rich if it's got 383 million. World's largest asset manager. Well, that answered my question. BlackRock owns 383 million of ... It's, ooh, there's a Bitcoin in there. It's got something to do with Bitcoin. We can see that the news headlines are overwhelmingly positive today. Now, if we look at the markets, what do we see? Well, it's pretty green, isn't it? No wonder it's positive news. Can you imagine if the news was all negative but the market was rallying? What would you say about the news then? That's a really important question to ask. What it really means is that news reflects current sentiment. If it doesn't, it's not really news. Let's have a look at investment substitutability. We could put money, of course, in crypto, for example, Bitcoin or alts. Over the past year, Bitcoin is up 299%. Gold, unfortunately, is down 9%. The S&P 500 is up 30%. Turning to crypto total market cap, total market cap is $1.995 trillion. Not bad. If you're new to crypto, what total market cap is actually showing us is how the entire market is moving up and down, up and down. This is really good for you to compare to your altcoin behavior. You'll see a lot in here. We can see current price across the entire market is being maintained above support. Let's have a look at Bitcoin's technical analysis. The reason we look here is Bitcoin's fingerprint. We need to understand how Bitcoin's pattern is moving. It's really important for you to actually develop your pattern recognition skills. The more skills you have in identifying patterns, the more successful you will be in the crypto market. Currently, Bitcoin is trading at $46,805. It's just above support at 46,566.11. We have support below at 45,830, 45,268, 45,000, 44,602. If we look at this structure, it's really good. We can see Bitcoin bypass this area of resistance. It did so very strongly. That's a great sign. It's not really come back. It's done a natural wave down, but that's very minor in comparison to this powerful cutting of resistance. It's excellent. If we look at this once resistance line, it's now a support line. If we look at this particular resistance line here, it's now also support. We see Bitcoin's price is being cradled by 3 levels of support. That is actually terrific for the crypto market. Let's pop across to the Bitcoin futures markets. We're going to look at perpetual contracts. Perpetual contracts have no fixed expiration date, unlike traditional futures contracts, which have an expiration date. That's the major difference between perpetuals. Perpetuals just keep on going on. We can see in this case, the majority of perpetuals are long. Going across to traditional futures that have an expiration date, looking through the 24th of September contracts, we see that the bulk of those futures contracts are long. Moving across to Bitcoin options for the options expiration at the end of the month, we have total open interest of 32,609. The put call ratio is 0.64. Max pain price is 42,000. Max pain is the price at which the majority of the options expire worthless. Let's have a look at Ethereum's technicals. Ethereum, like Bitcoin, has managed to pass across this resistance. It has a channel of support below it. We're seeing support be quite strong at 31.30. Ethereum is currently trading at 3,200. It has support below 31.30.45, 30.87.11, 29.88 and 19 cents, and 29.13 even. We can see a little bit of resistance above coming into play around 33.19. What I've done for you is I put Bitcoin's fingerprint just lightly in the background. This is a really good way of seeing the directional correlation between Bitcoin and all other alts. I'll just keep it on the charts from now. I think it will help you a lot to understand how Bitcoin is impacting different alts. If you hold it or not, it's really interesting to see what it's doing. That is what Bitcoin's gravity is doing to a specific alt. Since EIP 1559 was introduced, 215.3 million of ETH has been burned. Looking at the ETH futures market into the perpetuals, and remember, perpetual just doesn't have a settlement date, it doesn't have an end date. What we're looking at, there's a lot of short volume here and not much long in comparison. So we can say downward price pressure is being anticipated. When we look at the traditional futures, we can see mainly longs. That means for the end of September, we are expecting basically price to go up. Moving across to Ethereum's options, for options expiring at the end of the month, total open interest is 219,784. The put call ratio is 0.76. The max pain price, where the majority of options expire worthless, is 2,700. I had a really interesting question in the community. What is the put call ratio? How is it calculated? It's actually pretty simple. You take the put open interest here, this 94,808, you just type that in, 94,808, divide that by the 124,976 here and press equals. There you go, 0.76. They're just rounding up. I hope that helps. The purpose of going through this data is to get you really familiar with it. This is quite advanced in terms of understanding. Until you're an expert, until you are basically consistently profitable, you shouldn't be going near options or futures. However, you will hear in the media all the time about options expirations and max pain and open interest. All of these things we cover every day so that you look at it and say, yeah, I know that stuff. Over the past 24 hours, there's been 291.75 million in liquidations and 54,129 traders were liquidated. Over the past 24 hours, about 70% of liquidations were short, and we can see that we're not dealing with any multi-billion-dollar liquidations just yet. Let's have a look and drill into the past 15 minutes. We can see back a ways there were a lot of short liquidations, but not so much currently. Turning to the Fear and Greed Index, Fear and Greed is currently 70, which is signifying greed. You can notice that the max pain level for the options expiring at the end of the month here has gone up to 42,000. We track this every day. We're seeing what is happening to max pain. At the moment, it's increasing. It's really important to remember Rule 4. Price moves in waves. When looking at fear and greed, the psychology of the market comes into play. When greed is going up, people are really keen to buy. People are called into the market by the media, reflecting current sentiment in the market. And of course, people get sucked into the market, generally at the top. When the markets decrease dramatically, the news is always doom and gloom, which we call fear, uncertainty, and doubt, which is FUD. People say, oh, it's going lower and lower. That's just reflecting current sentiment. That's why you have to be really, really careful of the news. We know inside our community, the price is always moving in a wave. It's going up and down, up and down. This is just a natural part of price action. We always keep our eye on the Bitcoin stablecoin supply ratio SSR oscillator. As it's going up, the price momentum will be going up with it. Positive price pressure. This is really good to keep your eye on. Another very valuable thing to understand is that total open interest actually drives upward price pressure as well. We can see that price pressure has been increasing, especially recently. It's also really important to keep our eyes on the stable coins. Tether USDT is around 64 billion in market cap, USDC 27 billion. As crypto adoption grows, the stable coins compete directly with central bank digital currencies, so we need to be aware of regulatory action on behalf of governments. We can see the circulating supply, which is effectively the market cap, increasing on USDT. It came down quite a bit because there was a Department of Justice rumor that the DOGE would be investigating Tether. We can see that Tether's circulating supply has actually increased since then. USDC has seen a bit of a fall off, as has BUSD. As Tether is the largest stablecoin, we just look into the futures market to figure out what professional traders are feeling about the prospects of Tether. We can see shorts and open interest is not multi-billion dollar open interest and shorting. Looking at the futures, it's also the same. It really means that there's no problems that traders are seeing with Tether at the moment. There are currently 11,335 cryptos in the crypto market. Wow. Top 7: Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, BNB, USDT, XRP, and DOGE. Let's look at the greatest gainers over the past 24 hours. Swissborg, ADA, GRT, VGX, FTT, MATIC, and REV. What about over the past 7 days? Greatest gainers: AVAX, Audio, AR, Luna, Sol, FTM, and REV. What about the greatest losses over the past 24 hours? Audio, Luna, NEAR, Solana, Cell, and 2 stable coins. We don't really worry about those. Let's have a look at the greatest losses over the past 7 days. And the greatest loss is only 10%. Yeehaw! Raven Coin, Chiliz, BTT, HOT, Cell, Uni, and Nexo. Turning now to Binance derivatives, 24-hour trading volume is 72.9 billion. 24-hour open interest is 10.6 billion. We're really interested in the change of the price of the contract in the past 24 hours. That's this third column, the percentage. Right now we see the change in price is about 5% for Bitcoin. Going down and looking at Ethereum, it's nearly 7%. That means Ethereum is going up more than Bitcoin is currently. Looking down, we can see ADA 18%. That's quite a good positive price pressure. MATIC 12.9%. Let's have a look at some other ones. SXP nearly 14%. Dent 16.3%. GRT 14.2, KSM 12.5, CRV 12. This gives us an understanding of the price pressure existing in the market at the moment. We can see the majority is just green. There's really not much red. OMG is 16.1%, RSR 12.9%, NKN 10.7%. And that pretty much wraps it up. Ooh, yeah. Okay, and just rounding out with the futures. We can see that they are traditional futures because they have a settlement date, like a expiration date. I'd just like to do a shout out to Crypto Badger. Crypto Badger recommended the community have a look at viewbase.com. If you go to viewbase.com and just click on open interest here, this is a really interesting analysis. We can see how the open interest is changing over the past 24 hours, as well as the price change. This is fantastic stuff. Thank you very much, Crypto Badger. And if anybody in the community has other websites that you feel the community could benefit from, please let me know. Rule 302, study the top. Great lesson in crypto, even better lesson in life. Study the top is always really, really good to do. The most important thing is to understand how the top cryptos are moving before you look at your beloved alts. That will give you pattern recognition skills and give you guidance as to what you can expect of your alts. Let's have a look at the top movers over the past 3 days. Leading up is AVAX, followed by AR, HNT, ADA, Atom, FTM, Luna, Rev, ICP, XRP, MATIC, and then Bitcoin. It's really interesting to see AVAX's potential power. It's got a lot of power over the past 3 days. Let's have a look at the top 15 over the past 24 hours. Over the past 24 hours, the top ranking, ADA, MATIC, VET, DOT, XRP, Uni, Link, ETH, DOGE, BNB, Litecoin, Bitcoin, Theta, ICP, and Sol. Congratulations to the ADA holders. Cardano is on a tear. It's actually in price discovery now. When things go into price discovery, it means that they don't have overhead resistance. That's pretty cool stuff. It means that the resistance levels mainly become psychological round numbers. This is why we always say be careful of round numbers. Use exact precision. For example, a lot of people could put sell orders on $3 or $2.75 or $2.50. These are good things to be aware of. I've just put the aeroplane up here to show you it's moving into price discovery. It's just coming back to test that all-time high right now. It's really fantastic news. In price discovery, price can move basically anywhere. So that's really important to draw up our once support and becoming resistance lines. We can get some indication of how price might be going up. We'll just keep our eyes on this. There are a couple of different thoughts when it comes to price discovery. Generally, all-time highs are retested. That means that you generally see a bit of weakness around here as people take profit. It could come down and rally, but of course it can go exactly the opposite way as well. It can go up. Just have a look at price, how price is performing, to get an indication of how ADA will eventuate. The major guide you have is actually the price direction of Bitcoin. Just keep your eye on how Bitcoin is behaving. If Bitcoin comes into a little bit of resistance, it's quite possible ADA will too. Just keep your eye on Bitcoin. That can be your guide to understand how ADA is progressing. I hope that helps out. A few members of the community said, can you focus a little bit more on ADA? I hope this has assisted with that. ADA is currently trading at 2.5032. It's literally at the psychological support level of $2.50. It's the all-time high, now acting as support just below it at 2.47. Now these all-time high numbers will be different depending on what pair you're using and what exchange. For Cardano, Tether, US, on Binance, it's $2.47. Support below 2.4037, 2.3270, 2.2453, 2.1409, and 2.0274. It may also be useful to look at the futures market. Perpetuals, we can see a lot of shorting behavior up here, 2.43 billion as opposed to 410. Maybe just keep your eye on the perpetuals. You can look at traditional ones as well, but perpetuals are probably a good idea in the short term. Binance Coin, BNB, is currently trading at 427.19. It has support below at 421.40, 405.99, 394.76, and 376.29. If you're trading BNB or investing in BNB, just keep your eye on Bitcoin's gravity, see how it's playing out. That will give you a lot of direction. Looking at XRP's technicals, XRP is currently trading at 1.2422, support below 1.2199, 1.1887, 1.1458, and 1.1123. We can see that XRP is coming up to a line of resistance. It's probably going to hit around the 1.2876 mark. We'll just keep our eye on that. There's a very faint trend line that I've drawn in here. We're just waiting to see the trend consolidate. There's a little bit of weakness, but that's just that overhead resistance pushing down on price. XRP looks pretty healthy, and we can see Bitcoin's fingerprint in the background. Look how closely XRP is following the directional nature. It's directionally correlated with Bitcoin. And it's the same for all alts. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. DOGE is currently trading at 31.947, support below 31.479, 30.729, 0.3, 29.138, and 27.989. I've put a couple of support lines in here to help you out with your trading and investing. Let's just keep our eye on what Bitcoin is doing and the gravity. We have a particular resistance line coming into play at around 32.855. That's exerting downward pressure on DOGE, but DOGE is being supported by this upward support line. If it breaks this support, the next one it will go to is this upward support line at around 39.70. Depending on when this all happens. If DOGE manages to get up above this resistance line and turn it to support, and there's no reason to think it won't, that particular support is around 33.050. Polkadot is currently trading at 26.641, support below 26.155, 25.313, 24.936, 24.302, and 23.579. Icon, ICX, has got above that monthly resistance. It's on the other side. It's turned it to support. That's a really good sign. It's coming up to this daily and 8-hour resistance level above. But when it gets on top of that, it's going to do really, really well. ICX is currently trading at 1.2817, has support below at 1.2583, 1.2278, 1.1772, and 1.1562. Let's have a look at Polygon. MATIC is currently trading at 1.49.856. It has support below at 1.48.574, 1.41.0 087 1 36 913 and 1 31 350. To understand where Polygon is going to go, we just keep our eye on Bitcoin's directional price movement. We want to see where Bitcoin is moving up and moving down. We can see MATIC has come back into sync with Bitcoin. This is really good because when it comes back into sync, it can go out of sync again. We can see a really extended rally here in MATIC. We might be able to see one of those coming forward as well. Let's keep our eye open. In the previous episode on trend, unfortunately I missed a little bit off the end of the video. Sorry about that. I'm going to include that now. It's really interesting for people who only watch the timing video to see what kind of information the trend video has. It's absolutely different information. We don't do overlap between trend and timing. You're going to see about the trend now from the previous episode. Rule 45, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Bitcoin literally controls the crypto market, but we can see it's reaching into the stock market as well. It's really important to keep in mind how important tracking Bitcoin is to whatever you're looking at. If it's in the crypto space, one of the most important things that you can ever do is to become really familiar with Bitcoin's price action and what it's doing. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin ETFs. With that in mind, as Bitcoin rallies, we would expect to see all these Bitcoin ETFs, ETNs, and funds do exactly the same. We can see Grayscale Bitcoin Trust came up 6.11% over the past 24 hours. CoinShares physical Bitcoin is also coming up with Bitcoin's price action, but we also see another interesting thing, and this is where we're getting a kind of metamorphosis between the stock market and the crypto market. The fear gauge, we can see the fear pushing the price of CoinShares down. However, we know that the price of Bitcoin is actually rallying now. Quite an interesting observation. Keep your eyes on that. BitC is just under resistance. BTCC, the purpose Bitcoin ETF, has bounced from support. BTCQ, the 3IQ CoinShares Bitcoin ETF, has also bounced from support. BTC ETC, Bitcoin Exchange Traded Crypto, has also bounced from support. QBTC, the Bitcoin Fund Canada, has also bounced from support. BitW, Bitwise 10 Crypto Index Fund, is still under negative price momentum. GDLC, Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund, has bounced from support. 21 Shares Bitcoin, 21XB, is under resistance, but it's coming up. VanEck Vector's Bitcoin ETN is also under resistance, but came up 4.45%. CI Galaxy Bitcoin ETF, BTCX, bounced from support. It came up 5.7%. OBTC Osprey Bitcoin Trust is moving sideways. It's basically not following any of the momentum of its peers. BitC 9-point Bitcoin ETF is doing really well. It's bounced from support. EBIT, the Bitcoin ETF, also bounced from support. Let's check out the public companies that have Bitcoin exposure. MicroStrategy has been selling off. It's under resistance. Tesla is above support. Galaxy Digital Holdings sold off recently, but price looks like it's going to recover. Voyager Digital is still experiencing a lot of downward price momentum. Square is testing support. Marathon Digital Mara is just currently underneath resistance, but it's seeking to get above that resistance and turn it to support. Coinbase Global has bounced from support. Hut 8 Mining Corporation is bouncing from support. ADE Bitcoin Group SE is still being subjected to negative price momentum. Riot blockchain is also being subjected to negative price momentum, but it's coming up to support. We could see a bounce here. Bitfarms, BitF, is seeking to recover. This is a really interesting stock. ARB, Argo blockchain, is still under negative price momentum. Hive blockchain, HVBT, is seeking to repair technical damage. It's looking quite good. It's looking like it wants to come up. BTBT, Bit Digital, continues to sell off. Even though Bit Digital came up 8.05%, it's still under a lot of negative price momentum. Silvergate Capital Corporation, SI, is under a lot of negative price momentum. I have a special bonus for you. Many times in the press, the Federal Reserve System, the Board of Governors, is always talked about, the Fed. When you come down to see what the minutes are, you can actually just go to federalreserve.gov, go across to the monetary policy page, see this meetings, calendars, and information. If you click on that, it will give you the latest minutes. So for example, that is the PDF. You can get an HTML version as well, but you'll also know that there are 3 more meetings and when they occur. It's really good. It's a fantastic resource. I would urge you to check it out. It's always nice for me to share how I get the data that I get. I hope you found the content useful. Thank you to our moderators and admins for keeping our community safe from scammers. If you're new to the channel, please say hi and let me know where you're viewing from, and if you have any questions. We're a community-driven channel. I really take a lot of notice of people's questions to me. I want to provide as much value as I possibly can, so please reach out with any questions you might have. If you would like updates on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube. You can join us on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. I've left details in the description of this video. Crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.